All right, welcome back everyone for day 2 of Jeremy Cowart, experimental photography. I've got to say, I've just been up all night like watching what people are saying on Twitter and chatting with people online. I mean, this has just been a kick. This has been a lot of fun. So I'm going to run through my intro really quick here, and then we will get started because we got a lot of stuff to cover today. All right, so covering the basics. Internet, can you hear us? Can you see us? In the chat room, can you let us know?
Give us 1 second, Craig.
No problem.
Yes. Is the first response yes, yes, yes. Hear and see, yes.
All right, fantastic. Why don't you let's ask where people are joining us from. So where can you hear us and see us from? We can just kind of throw some of those out while we're going through the rest of the checklist here.
We just asked that question, and people are joining us from Utah, San Francisco, Germany, SoCal, Belgium, Ballard, Denmark, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Finland, Hong Kong, Orlando. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all over the place. That's great.
Everywhere.
And Adam, are we recording the live stream? And are we recording the HD video? All right, fantastic. In Seattle, are we ready to go?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Woo! All right. So this is experimental portraiture with Jeremy Cowart. This is the Creative Live Classroom, which is brought to you by B&H Photography, photo gear, B&H photo and video gear, all sorts of stuff. And basically, they are providing a lot of the gear we're running in the background in order to make this place work. In particular, we're running Key Pros that are doing all the HD recording, and we're running TriCasters to do the live video switching during today's class. Let's see here. Today's crew, run through really quick. Of course, our instructor is Jeremy Cowart. I'm your host, Craig Swanson. In the chat room, we've got Kenna Klosterman and Susan Roderick relaying your questions forward as they come in. And behind the scenes, just a ton of people. We'll probably run a long list of credits at the end of this thing to let you kind of know what's going on back here. This is a Creative Live webcast. If you're joining us for the very first time on this, we are teaching this for a live in-person audience here in Seattle, all eagerly crowded around a number of sets here in the Creative Live classroom, and we're broadcasting this over the internet to as many people around the world as we can possibly reach. There are a tremendous number of moving pieces that come together in order to pull this thing off every day, so fingers crossed it's all going to work smoothly today. So I want to walk you through a really quick tutorial. I'll go fast. Number 1, how do you ask questions and watch the live event? Number 2, how do you get involved in today's Twitter contest? And number 3, how do you purchase the course videos if you're so inclined? And just as a reminder, all of the links I'm about to share with you went out in an email notification that those of you that enrolled should have got this morning. All right. So where to watch? Number of places for you to watch this. CreativeLive.com/live is the most common place. That's where 90% of you watching us right now are joining us. If you are in an area where you have relatively low bandwidth, go to CreativeLive.com/low. That'll reroute you to the Ustream feed for our low bandwidth page. And if you want to watch this on an iPad or one of the newer iPhones, you can go to CreativeLive.com/iPad. That sometimes will show a screen saying you require Flash 4 in order to run, and I don't know exactly why at times it does that. It's not something under our control, but most of the time this will let you watch on your iPad or your iPhone. All right, so number 1, how do you ask questions during today's class? Well, we have an active chat room here. It's been a very active chat room here today. So if you go to creativelive.com/chat, that's where the chat room is. That's where Kenna and Susan will relay your questions forward. And if you ask questions on Twitter, use the hashtag Cowart Live in order to have those questions relayed forward. We're monitoring all that during the live event. It's a little bit like monitoring chat from, a huge concert hall because there are thousands of people in there at times. So we are doing our best to relay your questions forward to Jeremy as we can. If you go to creativelive.com/chat, that's the chat room. It looks a lot like this. There'll be a number of tabs along the top. There's a Creative Live and a Creative Lounge tab. The Creative Live is where you keep your on-topic conversation. Creative Lounge is where you keep your off-topic conversation. And Susan, can you just kind of give us a sense of what are people talking about in the chat room so far this morning?
Well, we've already let people know that we're going to do some Q&A early in the morning, so the questions are already flooding in.
Actually, I asked if people had any questions for you, Craig. And so one of the questions was, how do you get an accurate white balance for the video?
You hire photographers, you hire a camera crew that makes the white balance work before we start shooting. All right. So, number 2, Twitter contest. I gotta say, it has been great. I could just go to my Twitter feed for this class, and I can almost get the entire class just as little quote nuggets as is going along. So we're gonna run that again. So the best Jeremy Cowart quote today, we're just gonna continue that. Every break, we're gonna give something away. And basically, you just quote Jeremy, and you include the short URL for this class, and that's up on the screen right now. And at the end of every break, we're going to give away a Life Finder DVD. It's the new DVD series from Jeremy, which has a lot of the type of stuff we're seeing here, as well as on-location examples and just really cool stuff. And Annie, I think we're going to go through some of the things that we didn't get to at the end of the day yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some great quotes from yesterday afternoon. So to kind of get us back in the mode, we will go through some of those. Rick Nav Photo quoted Jeremy saying, "It's a dead-end road to think you'll be the best photographer in the world." I think that's a good little nugget. Diamond Mind quoted Jeremy saying, "My one diva request is a rolling chair." And that was true yesterday, but today he already asked for a lint roller. So we're going to hold him to one diva request
You know,
a
I think he's
day.
been reading the Twitter feed. He's getting a little bit more diva as we go along.
Right, it happens. It happens. Meissner quoted Jeremy saying, "That is why we are calling this experimental portraiture," which I think today will be proven true as well. Studio K. Destin quoted Jeremy saying, "I hate more than anything to see crooked lines." M. Touche quoted Jeremy saying, "I'm using very tight modifiers to light my subjects' faces directly." Prizy M. Photo Art thinks the best Jeremy Cowart quote is, "Cannot have enough sandbags," which around here that is true. And Jesse D. Photo said, "There's a lot you can fix in a post, but you want to make your life easier, get it right in the camera." That's a great quote. And our winner for this morning, we're going to go ahead and give away a DVD right now, which is awesome, is Daniel Mast. And he quoted Jeremy saying, "I've prepped for 2 days for a 20-minute photo shoot and prepped for 20 minutes for a 2-day shoot." So that's a great quote. Thanks, Daniel. We look forward to getting that DVD to you and giving away more today.
All right, very cool. And you want to start us off with something, Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy, what's your first quote?
Okay, there we go.
I'm still sleepy, yeah. I can't tell you how many times people quoted me saying, which is pretty hysterical because that's me, unfortunately. I'm not a trained speaker.
You know, it's wild for me. So I actually miss a lot of the live things. We're running around doing everything. So the rewatch is when I get to watch a lot of this. And I feel like I've watched a lot of it already because I'm reading all the quotes. I've read so much of the material from yesterday that I go, oh, that's when he said that.
Yeah.
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 I'm also seeing really funny comments online. People are like having to arrange their shower schedule in the morning so they don't miss this. You know.
That's awesome.
All right. So let's hear number 3. How do you purchase these videos? If you want to support what we're doing here at Creative Live and you want to copy this for yourself, this full course at the end of today is the last day to get this deal. The end of the day at 6 p.m. Seattle time, this will be $149. If you purchase it before that time, so between now and, I don't know, 6 hours from now, it is going to be $99. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, we've looked at the schedule. There's some really cool stuff. Jeremy, you might want to tease that you've got something coming. I won't tell people what it is, but there's something coming up that's going to be really cool. And I just want to mention, this is going to complete out our 2010 Master Series for our weekend workshops. We have had a lot of fun this year. This has just been a remarkable year for us at Creative Live. And hopefully it is the beginning of, you know, even bigger things. We've got a lot of stuff planned, from Vincent LaFerre to Zach Arias, David Duchemin, Jasmine Starr, Tamara Lackey, and now Jeremy Cowart. It is all part of the one collection that we are creating here, and I don't think there's anything like this that's been done before quite this way. This is the closest we've been able to come to those live weekend workshops that most people can't afford to come to in person. And related to that, I wanted to throw in one bonus Twitter contest. We're giving away Jeremy's DVDs. We only have 2 days here, so we are going to be clearing this place out. We're going to be going and doing Help Portrait here tomorrow. Normally, the 3rd day in the series is when we really have a chance to promote and for us to basically make the money back it takes to be able to put this stuff on. So I'm going to ask for your guys' help. I want people to complete this sentence, "Buy this course because," and include the short URL for the course. My favorite response to that is going to get the entire collection of 2010 Master Series for,
Wow.
for everything we've done. So basically, our pick for the best answer to this question is going to get Vincent Lafray, Zach Arias. They're going to get everything. They're going to get it today, and they're going to be able to start downloading. It's like 150 hours of hands-on photographic training. It's really, really cool. So
And can you tell people the link again to use for that?
it's up on the screen right now. You can't, well, actually, you
Right.
can see it.
Okay,
So
never
it's
mind.
right there on the screen. You can copy that down. It's also on the Jeremy Cowart page. So if you go to the page, there's a retweet button at the bottom, and that's where the short URL is. So basically, we're looking for people who answer this question, buy this course because, and there's the URL for the course. I mean, it's pretty blatant what we're doing here. We're basically bribing you with a really, really cool prize to help promote this for us. Thank you very much for your help. All right. And that is what I came here to do. And I have done it. I'm going to get out of your way and let things get started here. All right.
All right. Hello. Let me fix my jeans. How y'all doing this morning?
Awesome.
My class, my beautiful class. Hello, Internet. Thank y'all for tuning in again. I have a few announcements, I guess my own intro. There are a few things I want to go through that I either missed yesterday or didn't cover well enough. First of all, I want to thank you, the Internet. I know that, is expected, but I really was blown away. I went home last night, or went to my hotel, and just watched a little bit of the rebroadcast. First of all, it's really awkward to watch myself on camera. It was fun seeing live just how much weight I've gained in the last 2 months. That was a good time. It was fun. The audio for Creative Live is incredible, but what I was laughing at is something about my mic made me sound like I had a really bad lisp. So that was also, I was getting a kick out of that. No, this was fun. I went to bed so inspired by y'all's feedback and a lot of the things that I don't know. I mean, it's not that it was like this big self-fulfilling ego thing for me, but just something about the energy of the Internet, the energy of all the things you guys were going home and trying after yesterday, the things that you said just really inspired me last night. We all went out to dinner, and at dinner I hit a wall. I was so tired. But when I got home and watched the Internet and saw what was happening, it just completely fired me up for today, and I'm really, really inspired. And in fact, I was so inspired that around midnight, as I explained to you yesterday when I have ideas late at night, I was laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and I had a really, really big idea hit me for today. And in fact, we've basically totally scrapped the second half of today. We're kind of squeezing in the first half, but I have a new plan for the second half of today that I think is going to be very, very exciting. I'm beyond excited about it. In fact, I want to do it right now, but we're going to have to wait till this afternoon. See how we've got a lot of fun stuff in this morning, but you definitely don't want to miss after lunch today. That's going to be a blast. So all that to say, thank you for your overwhelming response yesterday. That was really cool. Second of all, I realized yesterday that if we're doing this DVD giveaway, I know the trailer's out there, but I wanted to talk just a little more for a minute about that, because if you're quoting me, which was hilarious, by the way, some of the most ridiculous quotes ever were posted. If you're trying to win something, you might want to know more about what you're trying to win. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So basically, LifeFinder was something I wanted to do early last year. For years, since I became a photographer, people email me all the time saying, hey man, can I please come on a photo shoot? I just want to see how it works. I want to see how you think. I just want to see it all. And, I try to get people on as much as I can, but it's really, really hard for me to manage those requests all over the place. So that's why I created this DVD, for you to kind of see what I'm doing today, but there's even a lot more. Like basically we take what we've done this week and I go out on location. There's a photo shoot with one of my favorite musicians in the world, Imogen Heap. There's a long photo shoot at her house in London where we shot her album cover. There's a shoot with a band called the Civil Wars where I have all my gear and all my lights. There's a whole documentary on what I did in Haiti after the earthquake. There's an interview with one of my buddies, Zach Arias, who I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with here in the Creative Live family as well. There is a whole section on what I call the Vision Toolkit, where it's all the things I talk about that I look for in my portfolio. I'll literally walk through my entire portfolio and tell how everything was done. What else did we put on there? You can go to the website, lifefinderdvd.com, and there's a listing of everything on the DVD. But we've worked for months and months and months on this. I now know what it feels like to be a musician after they pour months of their energy into one project and then finally get to release it. So after hundreds of hours of work, this thing is literally just went on sale last week for pre-orders. It will be shipping next week, December, whatever that is. And if you order, you will definitely get it before Christmas. We can promise you that. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is tomorrow, which is my most exciting day of the year. A lot of you are familiar with Help Portrait, but I wanted to give you a little bit of my own spiel about what Help Portrait is. 2 years ago, I really just wanted to do something with my camera. I wanted to use it during the holidays, and so I got together about 8 photographers in Nashville, and we got we partnered with a nonprofit, and we went to a gymnasium in Nashville and just spent a day with families, about 60 people total. There were about 8 photographers, and we just hung out with these families. We took their pictures, we played basketball, we ate together, we just had an amazing day together. And it blew me away to know how much that not only meant to our subjects, but how much that meant to us. To be able to experience something like that. And afterwards, we posted a video on Facebook, and I was just overwhelmed with comments from other photographers saying, hey, if you ever do this again, I want to be involved. And so that's kind of when it hit me that this could be a bigger deal. So obviously last year, 2009, I launched a video on Scott Kelby's blog that Chase reblogged, Vincent LaFerre, and you guys took this idea and ran with it. We had over 40 countries participate last year, and so tomorrow is our biannual. I'm sorry, losing my mind. Tomorrow is our second annual event, and we now have every state in the USA participating. All 50 states are doing Help Portrait tomorrow, and we have, I think the last count as of last week was 59 countries. It's more fun to say 60 countries, but we'll keep it at 59. It might be 60 at this point. But this is truly a worldwide movement, and for us, a lot of people say, well, why do you need to talk about it and get more publicity and promotion? Basically, for us, the more we spread the word, the more people find out about it, which means the more people participate next year, which means the more lives are affected. And so we do want to spread the word as far and wide as possible. So tomorrow we are going to try to get Help Portrait trending globally on Twitter. We think that's pretty possible with everybody participating worldwide. So if you guys can help us out tomorrow and just tweet like crazy, the hashtag Help Portrait, all one word, that will help us out tremendously tomorrow in reaching our goal, getting more momentum built so that people can even still participate in December. Help Portrait, we focus on one day, tomorrow, but people can ultimately do it this month. They can do it whenever they want. I mean, photography is just the catalyst, and the one-day global event is the catalyst, but ultimately the goal is just to encourage people to use their gifts to serve people in need. So I hope that y'all will really jump on the Help Portrait train tomorrow. If you're not participating, you can tweet about it, so help us out as much as you can. And lastly, I would just want to, I think I already covered today, but definitely tune in later today. We've got a really fun kind of a challenge to myself that I think will be a must-watch. So especially since this is free and it's live, it'll definitely be entertaining for us all, I think. So with that being said, let's do this. This morning we're going to start with props, experimenting with props, which is probably my favorite thing in the world to do. And thanks to our set designer, Kaleo, we have all kinds of stuff here to play with. And so it sounds kind of funny, experimenting with props. It sounds very simple and whatever, but there are a million things I can do with simple props. And I wanted to start with one example here and tell you a quick story. This little umbrella. So last year, I might need somebody to actually fix this for me real quick while I'm talking. Last year, I traveled with an organization called Passion, and I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but they basically hired me to travel with them for 3 months and tour the world with them. And my job was just to document everything, the cities, the people, the events. And so every day I got to go just hang out. How does this look? Does this look amazing? A little flower umbrella here. I got to go, just document the cities every single day. And one of my favorite tricks that we pulled off when we're talking about experimental portraiture is my assistant had that small pack we used yesterday. It's a little 600-watt Pro Photo pack. And he had a monopod with a light on it. So what we would do, I remember specifically when we were in Tokyo, we went to this very, very busy street corner. So imagine you've got the corner of a really tall building right here, right? So there's people crossing the intersection right here. So my assistant went around the corner of the building, and he's just standing there with his light, with the softbox really, really high, and he's just standing there. Well, meanwhile, I'm way around the corner with a 200 millimeter lens, and I'm kind of hiding, right? I'm hiding behind this pole, and I've just got my lens zoomed way, way down the side of this wall, and he's around the corner. And so everybody's looking at him because he's just this guy standing there with this random flashing light. And what we were able to, and it was also kind of raining, so everybody had their umbrellas out. So when people would walk away from him, they all had their umbrellas behind them like this. And so what I was able to do on the street corners is he was lighting people through their umbrellas, and I was shooting from this way. And so I was able to get these amazing lit portraits with all this crazy color splashing through their umbrellas, in the middle of a busy street corner in Tokyo. And so that's the kind of things that I like to do, is find the interesting pops of color, make interesting use of light and props to get really, really crazy portraits. And we made a book of that whole series, or that whole project. It's called Awakening, and I think the website is awakeningthebook.com. If you want to watch that video, there's a whole collage. And we also talk about all the gear that I took on that trip. We show all the work. What else did I cover? I'm talking about my DVD. We cover this whole trip. Anyway, so these are the things we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to show y'all. Do we actually even have more umbrellas here today? Does anybody have umbrellas around? What's that? Sure. Yeah. What's that?
I have a couple in my car as well.
Yeah, why not? Let's grab some. Ooh, that parasol's awesome. So, and then I have lots of other things that I'm going to play with and experiment with. That's why I got so excited last night watching the comments, because so many of you were already posting images of things you had shot after yesterday's workshop, which I just thought was amazing. So many of you bought the little experimental TTV camera I was using yesterday. In fact, somebody said they were already going like crazy on eBay. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get started. And again, we didn't want to set up lights because we wanted y'all to see the full process of all the setups, all the computer tethering, everything we're doing today. So who are models already? Let's see. Let's start with you. You ready? All right. That outfit will be cool. I don't know that the umbrella matches your wardrobe, but you know what the parasol does? Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll start with this thing. Let's do this. How are the chat rooms?
Chat rooms are doing good, Jeremy.
Good. Hello, everybody. I was spying on them last night. Spying on everybody. That's fun. I was amazed at how really good the audio is. Because a lot of times yesterday I was speaking very quietly, and I was like, oh man, they didn't hear that. And then yesterday the audio was so good that literally everything was picked up, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it sounded really good.
I'm actually are there any of these boxes sturdy enough that she can stand on? You would? Yeah. Anything to elevate her just a little bit. Yep, that'll work. Are you comfortable standing on a chair? You can take your shoes off if you want, because I'm not going to be shooting full body.
Hey, John, there's
Yep, that's perfect. Actually, I'm sorry, hop down. I'm going to scoot you forward. Yeah. Let's center her with this window, and then I'm going to move you maybe over here to this side. Perfect. Here you go. And then, John, let's get my small 600-watt pack so we can literally show them the exact same. It already looks cool. And are we getting more umbrellas-ish? We have some more? Oh, cool. Okay. That little red one might be cool. And I have some paper and some fabric I want to use in that bag over there. So we'll.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
Photonator on the chat room wants to know what the word of the day is.
The word of the day. That's a good question. For anyone who missed yesterday, our word of the I can't even repeat it. It's so awkward.
Say it.
What's that? Our
Say
word
it.
of the day yesterday was moist. Yes. We were talking about how sometimes to make a band loosen up or to get them out of that, like, what do I do with my hands phase, we'll give them a word of the day just to, dwell on, think about. And yesterday's word was moist. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Yeah, I might need a camera. That might be good. I've always wanted to show up to a really big photo shoot. Like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Okay? And you make them think I was going to shoot the whole thing with an iPhone. Although it would be a fun challenge. We should do it. In fact, y'all should Google one of my favorite photographers, Damon Winter. He's a photographer of the New York Times. He just did a series in Afghanistan, I think, with only his iPhone. It's really, really beautiful stuff. I think it was just posted last week, and he did a whole series of the soldiers in combat using an iPhone. It's very cool. And I actually met Damon Winter, and when I was in Haiti, we were at a random restaurant, and I didn't know he was Damon Winter. I just saw all his cameras. So I said, "Who are you with?" And he told me his name, and I was a little bit starstruck because he's awesome. So y'all definitely check him out. I'll pop your flash. Just kidding. I like to talk smack with my assistants. When I was growing up, my dad, I love my dad to death. He would, if he was mad at me about anything, he would use whatever was just said against me. He'd be mad at me. I'm like, Dad, I gotta go. I'm gonna go to my room. I'll room you, Dad. That doesn't make sense. Good try though. I'll bathroom your face. Here we go. I am really rambling today. You ready? What's that? I know, right? Yeah. That is a good idea. So, let's talk about these really, really exciting camera settings, because I know it's riveting information. We're going to go to 100 ISO, 2.8 maybe, and a shutter speed of 125. I know that was a mind explosion for you guys. We were joking yesterday how I don't like technical information. I'm not a big gear fan. I'm not a big fan of what lenses I use or settings. I just do what I need to do to get the job done. So the fun part for me, I almost said the fun part, that would have been fun. The fun part is, what happens creatively, not what settings I'm using. So, let's see. It's always interesting shooting into light because, your camera, if you're a person that prefers to autofocus like me, because I have terrible eyes, your camera is hard to focus when you're shooting into light. It has a hard time. Maybe Nikon is better for all you Nikon users, but I know with this thing, sometimes it's a little tricky. So scoot out just a little more, John. And we'll just see. Oh yeah, I'm tethering, aren't I? So that's a good start. We're not there yet, but let's change those. Go to default on the settings and the contrast. And it's to you just, okay. So I think you're starting to already see, let's do it from the side. Actually, turn your umbrella, put it over your right shoulder, yeah, and then turn more facing that wall with your whole body. And then now look at me a little bit. Yeah, right there. And then scoot around a little more to this way. Yep, that's really hot, and hot in an overexposed way. What's that? Yeah, let's turn it down a good bit. People tuning in right now, does Jeremy know that shot's really overexposed? So let's do this. I still don't like it as of yet. Now cover your whole body. Yeah, let that umbrella be more diffusion. So even bring it closer, like wrap it around to camera a little bit more. Yeah, right there. Like cover your face with the umbrella. So that will probably provide. Yeah, I like that kind of covering part of your face. That's nice. Once again, my camera is having issues focusing. Even cheat it in a little more over your face. Just want to see one eye. There you go. See how that looks. Yeah, so we're starting to get there because you're seeing what's happened is this really, really soft diffusion on our face, and we covered up one eye. And what we could do we have that bounce board anywhere? Do we have V flat? Yeah. It might help to bring that into, because right now our face is going dark, but I do like the, okay, so now let me see both eyes, but still kind of keep it really cropped in close. Yeah, right there. I think we should, and turn your head a little more, cheat it back this way. Yeah, I like looking over your shoulder like that. This is really, and you're just going to stand it straight up over here. We'll see if that will fill in the shadows just a little bit. I am so not a fan of brick. I'm going to try to crop out the brick. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, that's a much softer light on her face. You can see where the umbrella gets a little bit overexposed. I'm going to go lower and shoot higher because I don't like just seeing her shirt. I actually want to see some of her arms. I think that'll be a nicer frame. But I do like leaving out the bricks. I've always wanted to do a photo of all the photo cliches in the world. Like, you know, you've got your brick walls that are cliche, right? You've got your train tracks. You've got the, I always say the lone couch is the new train track. You know, like how many photos have you seen somebody on like sitting in a random couch in the middle of nowhere? And then you've got the guitar over the shoulder. So what if you did a photo of somebody sitting on a lone couch, but the lone couch is sitting on train tracks. And then behind the train tracks is a brick wall. And then maybe you do some selective coloring on maybe just the, maybe they could have one balloon sitting on the couch with a guitar maybe across their lap. What's that?
The sunrise coming through.
Yeah, sunrise coming. It'd actually probably be a pretty cool photo if you combine all the cliches, right? So maybe somebody should try that. I think that'd be pretty funny. Don't get me wrong. I've done some of these cliches. I've done the, there's a lot of brick walls in my past, that's for sure. Both literally and figuratively. I don't know what that means. Okay. Once again, this is a, can you, do you have that flashlight from yesterday? Okay. So can I have somebody just shine it on our eyes real quick? When we're shooting in the dark, a lot of times get really close over here. When we're shooting in the dark and I need to focus, I'll have somebody use an iPhone or a flashlight or whatever and shine it in the eyes, just so my camera, little red dots can pick up the focus. That's better. Still too dark, my goodness. What happened there? So look over your shoulder again, really back towards the light. I do like the crop a little better. And then let's bring in the red umbrella, that little tiny red one over there. And then one more time, turn around, just everything nice and symmetrical, straight to me. Like your body, umbrella, everything. Yeah, and then we can move this. I tried the V flat. It did help a little bit in the shadows, but we don't have enough power really blasting at it to fill in enough. But I do see that it made a little bit of a difference, so I just kind of wanted to show you all that. And then John, let's go ahead and switch to the red umbrella. It doesn't really match it kind of matches your skirt. It's close enough for our illustration. Turn it around so this little flap is behind your back. There you go. I'm going to move on here in a minute. Y'all get what we're doing in the story I told a minute ago of getting the color splashing in behind people. It's just a fun trick, especially as I was talking about as a street documentary thing. It's really fun to use a light to give people color when they don't even know it. There's probably a lot of people asking about model releases on street photography. I might let somebody else answer that. It's always a fun, interesting subject to discuss. Let's move this around on the back. I do encourage it. When I was in Haiti, every single person I photographed in Haiti, first of all, we were already taking the time to talk with them and explain my series, but as a part of that, we made sure they signed a model release. So I had translators with me who were speaking Creole in Haiti, and it was cool. They really respected the project we were doing. Basically, what I did is have them hold up signs expressing their thoughts right after the earthquake to kind of get a more personal view. At that time, only the media was showing gloom and doom. Here's dead bodies, here's crumbled buildings, look at all this disaster. But they weren't telling the human side of the story, so that's why I went down there to let people hold signs and express their thoughts. And it was really cool because there were a lot of other photographers down there who almost looked like paparazzi. It was just, I remember hearing about some scenes where there were more photographers than there were people helping and saving lives. And so I wanted to go down there and just listen and let them tell their own story. And so because we were doing that, because we were showing them a lot of respect, they were willing to sign a model release. And I've never sold those photos. I didn't. We just wanted to do that to let them know that their photos were being shown on the internet, all that good stuff. So anyway, quick little Jeremy tangent right there for you. So put it right behind her umbrella and put the stand behind her body so I don't see anything. And I'm also going to, lower the light real quick and remove the softbox. Another one of my favorite tricks when you're talking about experimental portraiture is I backlight people all the time with one light. And you use their body as a flag, which means you use I'm going to use her head to block the actual bulb. And it's a little trickier here because we already have the backlit window, so we're adding to that with the bulb. So I'll have to play with that, but the basic thought is sometimes it can be really cool to backlight somebody with the light. I know when I was shooting the Britney Spears tour, all the best photos were when I was able to line up that spotlight. They have tons of lights in a concert, but there's always that one big spotlight. And the best photos were always when I had that spotlight behind her head, and it just did this amazing kind of whole body glow, and it was really interesting. So it's one of my favorite little tricks to do. I have no idea what it would look like here, but we'll try it. And, go ahead and crank the power up. Let's try to overpower that backlight. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to guess we're going to try 8.0 and just see if this looks better. Look off, not at me. Look over here and chin up some. Yeah, that's better. See how that looks. Yeah, I mean, that red is kind of annoying, but I think if it desaturates a bit, it will be a little more interesting. So as I said yesterday, this is an experimental class, so you guys are seeing all the weird shots, all of the good and the bad, so it's very interesting to try this stuff. Very interesting to try it live, I should say. So yeah, I think I'm going to open up my, basically, I know as Zach says, if your shutter controls ambient light and your aperture controls strobes. So I'm going to go slower on my shutter speed to allow more ambient light to come in on our face. I'm going to go to a 60th. We'll see if that helps. I mean, I kind of just corrected it with the exposure in Capture One, but I'm going to try to get it in camera because, like I said yesterday, it's always better to have things in camera than to have to fix it later. Sweet. So yeah, it did help a little bit, for sure. And I don't like the way I posed her at all yet, so I'm going to work on that for a minute. Make her a little more of an interesting composition. So make the pole of the umbrella go more like back across. Yep, there you go. And then chin up some and look back at that air conditioning thing back there. Yeah, chin up a little more. And then just use one hand. Drop your left hand. And then kind of just pull your shirt, straighten out all the wrinkles out on your shirt. If you can. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like your hand up on your hip like that. It's good. I'm just trying to make this composition a little more intriguing. Just turn your head a little more this way. Yeah. So in this case, that red umbrella is getting pretty overexposed because we're just blasting light through it. And honestly, I don't think this is the best example because I'm battling with the natural light of the windows, and so it's a little bit, actually it's a lot overkill. It's pretty, and so I think this is a bad example because of that. So as we say, this is Creative Live. You are seeing all the things, the good and the bad, and I do not approve of this photo just yet. So let's try one last thing. I think it might help if we reverse this. So you're going to stand on the chair right here, and you're going to put that light behind her.
Jeremy, how many times will you try an idea like this before you just bag it and decide maybe it's not going to work?
That's a great question. That's what I like to do. I think a good photographer should know quickly when something's not going to work. And I do that all the time. If I'm on a music job and the client is waiting for me to execute an idea, I will kill it as soon as I just know, you know what, this I don't love this. In fact, with this idea, if this is a real job, I might just probably move on because of the way the light is bouncing around in here. Because when I did it on street corners, there was just this real soft, subtle light. It was nothing like this massive window giving this huge source of light. So everything was more evenly exposed. So when we flashed that light, it overpowered everything, and it gave this nice consistent color in the umbrella, and that light was wrapping around that olive skin, and it was just really gorgeous. And so I think this might help, though, to move away from this crazy big light. In fact, this light is going to light her face, which I think will help some. So let's try it one more time, and then we'll move on. And another thing I do a lot, which is very real world, is that even though this window was my initial ideal background, I like kind of setting up all my lights perfectly and then swapping around. Even though we have this huge studio full of stuff, I still like the idea of trying to make this work as a background because I can get really low and only get those lights in the background, which are kind of cool. So let's try this one more time. To get even lower. And John, move the light just a little bit this way. Yeah, give me a big smile. That was a good smiling shot. Of course, in this context, it looks weird for her to be holding an umbrella indoors, but yeah, that light is still way too hot. So John, let's crank it down about half power. Sometimes I just become a, what's the word? Sometimes I just get determined to make something work, and this is one of those times. I know there's a shot here, and this is me working it out. So. And because we're tethering, it's also slowing me down. Like usually this can all be worked out in a much shorter span of time because I'll take a picture, look at the back of my camera, adjust my settings. I mean, this is much quicker when I'm not tethered. So this is definitely a much longer process of figuring this one out. But I wanted you guys to see the full deal. Can you? Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so you'll see what happened there. The umbrella does look better. So what I'm going to do now is just really go to very slow handheld, probably a 20th of a second, to allow more ambient light in. Yeah, thanks. Big smile still. There you go. See, I think I even moved on that. You got to be very careful when you're at a 20th of a second. Yeah, you can see where I moved in her hair. Her face looks a lot better, and the thing is all the details there, and so, and the whites are pretty hot, but they're not nearly as hot as they were. So let me mess with that for a second. Yeah, I could essentially go into Photoshop, lighten up her face a little bit. Black and white might be nice. Nope. This is that awkward thing where I'm like, okay, I still don't like my picture, no big deal. So I'm not going to waste your time making me watch an umbrella work. So we're going to move on and do something else very experimental. And doing things experimental by nature means that you're experimenting. There's a very good chance it may not work. And I think I could keep pushing this if I wanted to, and we could get the very perfect exposure on the umbrella in her face because I've done it in the past, but I don't want to waste your time trying to do something that mundane, so we're going to move on. So you're done for a minute. Let's clear out the space right here with the ladder and the softbox and all this stuff. John, let's get out that Mylar paper. Do we have any questions in the meantime?
Jeremy, do you usually shoot tethered? Do you almost always shoot tethered, or?
No, I mean, I shoot tethered on my bigger shoots, on the TV stuff, the bigger music shoots. But most of the time, because of what I just said, I shoot to card because I'm able to process things much, much quicker than what we just did. Because it's like, try it, look at the back, adjust your settings, try it again. I mean, it goes way faster when I'm not tethered. But sometimes clients don't give me that option. They want to see what you guys just saw on screen, so they force me to, And sometimes it does work because the client is standing over your shoulder, and then they know, oh, we've got the shot, let's move on. So I don't have to stand there and keep shooting and figure it out, So sometimes it does keep things quicker, but then sometimes you've then got 10 cooks in the kitchen who are analyzing every misplaced hair and every wrinkle, and it just makes things more complicated. So ultimately, though, I prefer to shoot to card because I move much quicker that way. And later, y'all are going to see that. Our little afternoon delight, y'all are going to see me shoot straight to card and not tether. And you'll see how much faster we go. And you will still see those images we're going to download as we go. Ooh, Becca, that's going to be awesome with this shot. So let's grab you.
I have another question, Jeremy. Where have you found some? This is from Amy G in the chat room. Where have you found some of your best props? Vintage stores, friends' houses, etc.
It's funny. I need to shop a lot more for props. I usually am very much in the moment. I mean, when I try to find an interesting location and use what's there. I know a couple photographers in Nashville that literally have a whole truck of stuff that they just bring to every photo shoot in case. And I actually think that's really smart because there are some locations where you've just got nothing to work with. And so you don't have to have a whole truck, but even if you have a few things in your car, it's good to bring a few things onto your shoot to have just in case. But I mean, general, antique stores, eBay, borrowing things from friends,
You should get Zach's wife to take you.
What's that?
You should get Zach's wife to take you.
Is she good? She good shopper for that
Yeah.
stuff? That's awesome. Cool. Any other questions for now?
I have a question from Christina. Do you feel comfortable having clients come already packed with their own ideas, and what if you hate their ideas?
Oh, it happens all the time. I mean, ultimately, they're hiring me to a lot of times achieve their ideas, and so we want to work. We want to pay our bills. So all the time, I do jobs that aren't that great or aren't that interesting, but we just want to keep working as photographers. And there are some that I dread, and sometimes I do turn them down. But I mean, most of the time, I try to keep clients happy and keep paying my bills and just get the job done and do the best I can. So.
I have a quick follow-up on that.
Yeah.
Do you find it more difficult to execute their exact vision as opposed to creative ideas, or is it ever exactly what they pictured, or is it kind of because you said very rarely yesterday that you have a specific vision in mind and you execute that specific vision. So how is it that when you're trying to execute a client's vision?
How was that?
How difficult is that for you to do?
To execute a vision that I'm not really into?
Or just somebody else's vision?
It's not. Frankly, I'm used to it because that's the case most of the time, and I like being. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying yesterday. I like the teamwork of me having to, take what they kind of want and me bring it to life. That was the whole thought process behind Life Finder. But it does get interesting when you think the idea is really bad, and it's like, well, I mean, it's the same like with music producers when they have to produce an artist that they don't like at all, But that's, I think, what makes us good photographers. The more you can bring to life, the more you're going to get hired. I like to think that I want to say that I could shoot anything, whether you want me to shoot a lifestyle job, whether you want me to go shoot, a travel job, or whether you want me to shoot a band. I like to think I can do all that. There are plenty of things that I don't think I would be good at. Like, I don't know how to light a car. I've shot cars before, but shooting cars is a whole science in and of itself. And so I know a lot of people that are just amazing with cars. I haven't done a lot of sports photography. I'd like to think that as a photographer, we are capable of achieving anything if we have a good eye. So does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. Ish? Okay, so what we're going to do here, no, we don't need an umbrella. We are done with glitters and umbrellas for now. Let me get my finger out of there. We're going to actually take this off the pole, and I need her. You can take your shoes off so you can be shorter for one. I'm going to take that off, and we're going to try to make a circle. And it's probably that probably means y'all just hand holding it. And then Becca, if we could grab a stool for you. This next shot is very, very applicable to my portfolio because a lot of times it's something as simple as combining two things that are silver and a really bright color and making an amazing image. And that's the kind of thing that when people look at my portfolio, they're like, oh, that's an amazing location, an amazing shot. How long did it take to come up with that idea, or where did you find that location? I'm like, well, none of that really happened. We just kind of improvised with what we had and made a shot happen. So yesterday, as we were kind of setting up all the props, I realized we had this nice shiny paper, we had this nice shiny wall, and we also have a nice silver gun somewhere. Do you guys know where that is? Okay. And so I'm going to attempt to create a very almost James Bond kind of shot with her crazy loud red coat here. Again, none of this is planned, so you guys really are seeing all of these ideas kind of. It wasn't planned until I didn't know she'd be wearing this red coat, so we didn't plan that. But I think that red coat will pop amazingly on this real sliver of a real cool sliver of a silver wall we have. So ultimately, what I'm going to do is I would like to do this to almost make a just a tunnel of silver here. In fact, I might need more people to help hold this up. That would be good. Becca, where's the stool? Oh, right there. Again, I don't know if this is going to work at all. I have no clue, and we haven't tested this. So you're going to face straight out. You're going to face me straight out. Yeah, right there. And scoot over. I need to center you perfectly with this silver background. Let's go and get the ring light out. Scoot over just a little more. And then lower our silver thing. And then you guys are going to basically wrap it around her. I want to see a tunnel of her. Lower your side. Can we get even more? Another assistant in here to hold this thing up? On my website, there's a shot of a girl named Rebecca St. James, and we kind of did something similar to this. We had this big bendable mirror, and I don't know why I brought it to that shoot. Somebody had it in their garage, and I said, hey, can I borrow that? And it says this big mirror, and I had, just like this, about 6 people wrapping this thing around a piece of wallpaper, and it made this crazy effect with the ring light. So we're going to literally drop this to where it's only encompassing the silver part. So you can just let it fall like that. Yep. Lower on the back down there. All the way down to the silver. Yep. You know what? Let's do this. Put it over. Yeah, exactly. That would be good. Yeah, now we're talking. And then give them more slack. Rotate it over this way. Yeah, so now we have this crazy bright red. We've got this cool silver gun, this cool silver paper, bright red lipstick. This shot, I think, should look really cool without having to try like we just did with the umbrella. And try to, I know this is tricky, but try to keep this a little bit straight. Yeah, that's perfect. And then push down on that back side. There you go. Yeah. So once I'm ready here in a second, this is exactly what we need to keep holding up. Yeah, I'm going to shoot through the ring light, I think. So like I was saying yesterday, this is a ring light. I think y'all are probably familiar with them. But I don't use these a lot. They do come in handy sometimes, especially on a shot like this where you can't really light this, from above or behind. The only angle we have is straight on. And so that's why ring light works, is I can put my lens through that, through the ring light and make the shot happen. And ideally, I would have a lot more of this paper. I would love for that paper to come out all the way to here and just shoot all the way through that. But we have to improvise. This is very, very, kind of real world thing. So I'm going to use a longer lens to where I can start my crop right here. In fact, do we have any thick tape? I know we have gaff tape. We have really thick. Here we go. Because what I'm thinking is we could, what's that? We can tape this on that to keep that, yeah. good. See if this helps. Either way. So basically with a shot, I only want to see a lot of silver and a lot of, I only want to see Becca in our little tunnel here. Are you ready? Move this guy. And I think that lens should work. Yeah, and I like how you kind of have yours out, so push your set out a little bit to give me a little more spread. The stand is willy wheeled. Sorry. Chase, that makes sense, weirdo. I kid. That's my 1,200 pack, or that's no, it's 600. Okay. Let's keep that charged too, in case we need it for. Actually, we will need it for later. Cool. Either way, actually, this might work because I do need. Actually, I think this pack. Oh wait, there we go. I thought it was dead, but it's good. There you go. So these ring lights are extremely powerful. So I'm going to use a 600 pack instead of a 2400 pack to kind of not, first of all, not blind her, but also I don't need that much power to make the shot happen. So you're going to give me the whole, gun straight to the camera thing. Yeah, right there. Let's just see if this works. Again, ideally, I would have more length in that silver. Oh, it disconnected. Okay. Can you hold that for a second? I'm going to lower this light stand one more time. Okay. What's that? Oh, thanks. Oh, and the other thing we can do is raise the ring light on the stand. This is another one of those pieces of gear that you have to kind of use sparingly because ring lights can get they can get old really quick because people usually know immediately when you're using a ring light. So you don't want to be a one-trick pony. But they do come in handy for shots like this. Okay. That's what a good assistant does, is they remind you that you're still at your last settings. I don't want to shoot at a 20th of a second right now. Perfect. So I need to scoot in closer, which means we might have to turn the power down. Didn't think I'd be saying this, but now I need you to be a little taller. I want your head to be higher. Do we have like a sandbag she can sit on? Yeah. Multi-purpose sandbag here. Perfect. This might be the best paper holding I've ever seen, just FYI. You guys are killing it. Yeah, there we go. Even sit higher, really try to get that. And I can shoot up a little bit at her, which means I'm going to lower my ring light back down. And again, this is just a random guess to see if this will work or looks good. I'll lower the gun a little bit lower, and then turn it up to where the gun is still pointed right into the lens. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And who knows what that's going to look like. And yeah, we're overexposed, but it does look, and I got her blinking. is a very good high contrast shot too. It also would be a nice black and white. And the problem, what's happening is because the gun is so close, you'll see that her face is really nice and kind of overexposed. The problem here is the gun just gets shot because it's a lot closer to the light, which does pose a problem, a big problem, because that shot really doesn't work. And so if I were on a job, we would really work a lot to figure that out. Might even have to do a composite, which basically we would expose for the gun, put it on a tripod, expose for the gun, then expose for her face, and combine the two in Photoshop. That's really the only way. I mean, we could try lighting the gun separately, but either way, I think this would end up having to be a composite where the photos get combined afterwards. Yeah, we could try that. I think still the gun will be pretty hot, but we'll give that a shot. So yeah. But I love the way that the silver paper is acting. I love the way her face looks. It's all very, very cool. So let's give it another shot. And I'll try my best not to get you blinking this time. No, you're all right. So spread y'all's sides as wide as you can go. Yeah. And this has a big bend in the middle there. See if you can somehow, yeah. And then I want to even still get you a little higher somehow. Maybe, yeah, let's try one more. It's okay if your head is touching that paper. But I mean, this is essentially like what we're supposed to do as photographers, like find an interesting silver wall, so look around, see if anything else goes with it, combine them together, figure out the right lighting. You've got an amazing image. I mean, this is a very simple, ultimately a very simple setup. I mean, this paper was, what, $10? 16 a yard, which is actually expensive, 2 yards. And so, but it's still a very cheap prop, and the metal box was here, and I was just able to arrive here and say, I think these things would look cool together with the ring light. And yeah, even bring it closer, closer to you. It's like really short, because I think, yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel right, but it will look okay, I think. And then center. Yeah, this is nice. Give me a very mean look too, like really, really tough. Yeah, and raise the gun a little bit. Yeah, and then like I said, guys, I think the gun will still be overexposed, but we'll try it. Actually, I might focus on the gun. Push the gun a little bit to your left, and then really aim it right at the lens. Aim it down a little bit. Yeah. Even, you don't look tough, you just look like you're staring. You look really, really mad. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Push the gun a little to the left again. I think you're blinking again. Let's shoot one more. Really, really mad. Yeah, so I still like it better focused on her face. I'm going to give one more. Okay? Push that top side on the back if you can, and a little bit. And this time I'm going to put the gun down, actually. I'm just going to get a good shot of you. And you're going to give me a face like you're screaming this time. Like mouth wide open, just, like that kind of thing. Like, ready? You like that? Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's cool. Even eyes more squinted. Actually, no, when I count to 3, I'm going to have you scream. Scream? Yep. Yep. Okay, hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Cool, let's check it out. That was more of a girly squeal.
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. Sometimes I don't always like a light to be overexposed, but I think in this case it works really well. But still not aggressive enough. We need to get you even tougher. Let's see. The red is your coat is doing really weird things. That's kind of, Watch that. Are y'all seeing what's happening with that red? The details they're just barely moving the exposure of the details in the coat. Leave and go. That's really interesting. I've never seen that before. Yeah, exactly. I think it's because my contrast is, it's because my contrast is boosted all the way, but still very interesting. I think I like the bluish tones better. Wonder what would happen. Sometimes I like playing with reverse vignetting, where we have a lot of white pouring in the sides, but or not. That's kind of cool too. And my camera isn't straight. See how my horizons aren't straight? I hate that. But the good thing about any program, Capture One as well, is you can do this. Just straighten it out. And then hit my little hand, and it's straightened. And this would also be a very cool square image. Oops. Yeah, so about like something like that. Okay, I gotta have tougher. I need more squint in the eyes. Can you see that? The mouth looks cool. I need the eyes. I need the aggressive eyes.
Come on, we're making you sit on those uncomfortable things. You're mad at us.
Yep, bring it. Remember, guys, for those of you who didn't see this yesterday, this is the first time Becca has ever modeled. And she's not only modeling, but she's doing it in front of a worldwide audience. So it's pretty dang impressive. She has the guts to do this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm moving my, wait, I shot that horizontally, didn't I? Never mind what I was about to say. Okay, ready? Wait, I'm gonna zoom in a little tighter. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's better, much better. Nice work.
Yeah.
So let's see. So now I'm not liking the square crop. I'm gonna straighten this out because I hate lines that aren't straight. Just a little bit straighter. Still seems off. Any questions from the audience or internet?
Of course there are, Jeremy.
Cool. Bring it.
Let's see, I'm trying to. One question from Piranha was, when do you know and how do you know when to go to black and white versus color?
I think you just know. I mean, sometimes the colors, like if she was wearing, I don't know what else she could be wearing, but there are a lot of times where the colors just don't work, or maybe, I know with the recent band I shot, these photos are on my blog, a band called the Daylights. I was just going for that more vintage, old school vibe, and it just worked way better in black and white. So there's no secret. Unfortunately, I think it's just up to the photographer. I have got a lot of black and white stuff on my website, and I'm a big fan of it. It's tricky though. I think digital photography usually doesn't look good in black and white, so you have to really work on your tones. And I think Capture One especially does a good job of getting good, nice, thick, black, rich tones. So that's my scattered answer to that question.
And so do you always shoot in color and then convert to black and white?
Yes. Yep. I do indeed. I think I would like this image as almost a panoramic. I've still been debating this crop in my head, and I think something like that is a little more interesting. Yeah, I think that's actually a little more. It works a little better for some reason. Let's see.
Jeremy, Tom on the roof would like to know if you blend black and white with color.
If I blend black and white with color? I don't know what they mean.
He's one of our more technical people in the chat room.
Desaturating so it's a blend or doing a mixture, like one color element inside a black and white photo?
All right, Tom, what do you mean? Because I'm not sure what he means.
On that question, do you mean blending the color in black and white, sort of a desaturated look,
Do you,
or having a black and white image with maybe one color
Could you
item
throw
in it?
something on still a simple
He's saying use
color
soft light blending mode.
that
in
shows
Photoshop.
more of your shoulders and arms? That's almost
Thanks,
like a
Tom.
tank
He
top
moved
or
on.
something that shows
Sorry.
more. Ultimately shows more skin. Yeah, let's do that. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. I think your skin looks amazing in this shot. I want to see it one more time without. Are we still on that question, or am I good? Okay. So I'm going to try one more thing with this shot, and again, this is something very real-world application. The red does pop in this shot, but I really especially love her skin, and so I just had her take her coat off, and she's just got this black dress on, and I think that will be a much simpler photo. I think the skin will be amazing, so we're going to try that real quick. You ready to scream again? Yes. All right. Let's see. And I'm going to center you up. I want you perfectly symmetrical, so scoot over this way a little bit. And I like your face down, your chin down like that. Yeah, that looks. And then even lean forward a bit, like you're leaning into camera a little bit. Yeah, that might be cool. I'm going to back up. And screaming. And nudge over this way, just a hair, right there. And then see if you can raise the top just a little bit. Okay. Push your bangs over just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. The nice thing about having hair and makeup people a lot of times on set is they're right next to me and they're fixing all these little things I'm seeing, but a lot of times it's my job as a photographer to also be looking for those things. Like right now, your strap here is kind of crooked. And so the more I think those little details can really make or break a photo. So always be looking for the wrinkles that are sticking out from their, stomach, or the straps that aren't turned over right, or the hair that's in the face. I think a lot of times that's the difference between an amateur and a professional, is they don't look for the very, very small details. And so, yeah, that would help. So always just be watching the wardrobe and the hair and all the little things when you're shooting. And that goes for all of photography, no matter what kind of photography you do. I need you one more scooch, or just lean a little bit. Yeah, that one. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Cool. I think you were closer to camera, so you'll probably be even more overexposed. But I dig it. I still didn't have you lined up perfectly, symmetrical, and my crop is from the previous image, but that's cool. Let's try one more thing. Just again, a slight tweak. Scoot up just a little more, about the whole stool, about 4 inches. Yeah. Scoot my ring light back. So if we can pull back up the computer real quick. This is just a very simple thing, but these are the details that are important to me. I want to get her shoulders to span across wider than the silver background. I really want her to be the focus, so I'm trying to make her bigger than the box behind her. I want her to kind of be the majority of that composition. So I'm bringing her closer so that she'll be bigger than, wider than that box. So, sorry, you got to hop up again. Scoot that stool about 2 inches this way. Yeah, let's try that. And then come a little forward one more time. Let's see. Yeah, that should work. Yep. And then bring your corner out a little bit. And then I know it's hard. You only have so much room. Yeah, that's better. And then go lower and pull yours out. Like basically extend your top corner out some. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Okay, lean just a little bit this way. Right back a little bit. That's pretty close. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Good screaming. So the contrast is probably too crunched. Oh, whoops. Just adjusting my crop. I might even again, I'm kind of digging this panoramic crop of this shot, but I like that. I think that's cool. It might even be fun too. One more idea would be to somehow throw some color around here. Let me try one more thing. I have no idea if this will work, but I have a feeling it will reflect in an interesting way. Let's get this stuff, whatever this is called. So we bought this shiny paper from our lovely, what's that? Oh, whoops, I just tore it. It's okay. Display and Costume here in Seattle. A very great store that we went and me and John here were strolling through the store together buying Christmas lights and decorations. It was very intimate shopping time. Let me put this around your head. So this is going to be our Lady Gaga wrapping paper. Just hold it right there around you. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's cool. What's that? Maybe. Yeah, I think I like you're just holding it. Just put both hands up there. Own that paper. I don't know what that means, but own it. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's nice and shiny and reflective, and it's going to be super awesome. You're used to screaming by now. Raise the top just a little bit higher, guys. Lean forward a little bit. Becca, just lean out again a little bit, and then cheat this way. Yep, right there. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Very cool. Did I have that vignetting still turned on? Yeah, that's what's annoying me. I knew something was bothering me. I like it a little bit, but not nearly as strong as I had it. So sometimes, I don't personally do nude photography, but sometimes, like right now, even though your shoulders look amazing, but the black straps are still bothering me. So would you mind if we just kind of tilted them off to the sides? Your dress will still stay on fine, right? I just like the idea of all shoulders and all face, because this image is really strong. So, yeah. And that plastic almost looks like it is your outfit. No, we're going to leave this on. Yeah, okay. Let's make sure the dress stays on. Yeah, I think this will look much cooler without the straps. Another thing I would do in Photoshop, and in fact I might even do this on camera, is I don't like these. I don't like the edges of the box. So I just want face, shoulders, silver box, and crazy reflective stuff. And let me see what this looks like without the crop. So yeah. In fact, you know what? Can you hold that for a second? Can I get 2 more people to hold something? I'm going to untape this. You got it? So we're gonna only have the paper now behind. Just let it fall behind her. You're now wrapped in silver shiny stuff. Yeah, ish. Basically, yeah, if you just kind of wrap it around a little bit. And then, yeah, and it's okay if it's a lot more wrinkly and bring this in a little more. Yeah, now we're talking. That's going to be awesome. Camera.
You don't need the other extra person now.
What's that?
Want me to hold the bottom of it or something, or just?
I think that's pretty good. Watch your hand right there. Let me just take a look.
That and make sure it isn't in.
Yeah, a lot of times it's about just removing one element at a time, and already I know that this is going to be my shot. I've kind of been breaking the image down slowly, going, I don't like the box. I don't like the straps on the dress, and now we've just got an awesome face, awesome skin, and cool reflective surfaces with a ringlet, so. Oops. One more scream. Bring it. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Surely that's our shot. Yeah, I dig that. Dig the simplicity. I'm going to crop. I'm going to keep our crop ratio, which is, I believe, 6:4. And I'm going to just crop out the bottom of that dress because that's a tangent like we talked about last night in our image critiques. I'm going to move it over. And oops. I'm going to just play with this image for a minute. Do y'all dig this classroom? Cool. Ooh, that blue is kind of fascinating.
Jeremy, do you worry about it being too busy with the paper?
Don't worry about the image being too busy?
Yeah. Do you?
I mean, not in this case. I mean, obviously, there's no way to not make that image too busy. I mean, sometimes I like the chaos of, and I think in this case, we could really stylize her hair to even make it more over the top. But no, I'm not worried. I mean, yeah, I understand that general theory. A lot of times images are just too chaotic, but I personally that's what I'm going for in this image is busy and chaotic. Thus the scream, just to kind of go with the overall chaos, That white balance is nice too. So right now I'm just trying to find a white balance that I like. Might even go hotter, push our blacks a little bit. Yeah. This is the tweaking I always sit around and play with. I mean, you could do this kind of stuff for days. And then I always just experiment with vignetting for a minute to see which. That's kind of cool. The black is, both of them work, the different vignetting. It's funny, what I'm looking at right now, that looks to me more like a almost nightclub kind of vibe. Like she's sitting in the back booth and, looks like somebody used a non-camera flash, like kind of like that. Then you go with this vignetting, and it looks more, well, I don't know what it looks like. It looks more like she's fell into a massive disco ball. She's fallen into a massive disco ball. So I like both. I'm very happy with this image, and this would be the type of thing. In this case, I think I might send her back to makeup and wardrobe and have her hair a little bit crazier because I think the hair could be really over the top here. But as a classroom setting, I think y'all get what we're going for in general. I might even adjust my crop one more time. Crop down on the hair a little bit. So yeah, there we go. I like that. I like this crop a lot. That's really cool. So what I love about this image is that you would never think that we were sitting in just a big room of brick walls. Like this could be at a nightclub. People would just assume so many other things than a big room like what we're sitting in. But that's the fun about experimenting and using props is that you can really do stuff like this. What's next, by the way? All right, perfect. It's a good ending spot.
All right, we are going for a quick break. We'll see y'all back soon.
15 minutes.